Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Movement Radio. I am Chip Hazard.
And I'm Roger Sierra. Um, Talon, unfortunately, is having a really bad toothache, and his face is swelling up, so he can't really be here. So we're gonna do this as a duo. We're gonna keep the same, routine. We're gonna do a Reddit story to begin it, and this one it's a little bit of a long one, but it's a doozy. But
I love them
it really,
doozies.
it really caught my attention. I really wanted to get into this one. So let me pull this story up real quick. There we go. Oh, it's sideways. All right, there we go. So this one, the title is My Boyfriend, 32-year-old male, gave away my Hamilton tickets. She's a 29-year-old female. Am I being selfish for just wanting to break up over this? So her boyfriend gave away her Hamilton tickets. That's the setup.
Right.
So starts out saying this is a throwaway account because I'm fairly sure he/his family doesn't read it, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. Good point. But backstory, my mom is genuinely one of the funniest, kindest, sweetest people I've ever met, and I'm genuinely lucky to have been her daughter. She had me fairly young, raised me by herself, and while we were pretty poor growing up, she did her damnedest to make sure that I got a good education and had everything I needed as a kid. One
Sounds
of the
like a good
things,
mom.
yep, sounds like a mom who did whatever she had to do. Um, but one of the things we share is a love of the theater. She would save up and take me to all the musicals that stopped on tour in our town. And while we were always in the cheap seats, it was always something we both greatly looked forward to. These memories of going to the theater with my mom are very precious to me and is one of the main factors in why I work in the entertainment industry today. Corporate side, I have a horrendous single voice, lol. Oh, excuse me. So fast forward to today. This was written back in 2016, so
Okay.
you can tell because it was the Hamilton hype during that time.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward to today, like most theater nerds, my mom and I are basically obsessed with Hamilton. And for those of you who aren't really familiar with it, this show is basically impossible to get tickets for at this point, unless you want to see it in January of next year. I'm lucky enough to be in a financial position with my job that I could afford tickets for a show in July for me and my mom. These are amazing seats, fifth row center. That's actually really good seats.
That is.
Um, and through some type of divine intervention, I managed to snag tickets for the night that Lin Manuel Miranda, the creator and the lead in Hamilton, during his final performance. I surprised my mom with these tickets back in December. I bought them in October, I think, but I surprised her for Christmas. I'm looking for a whole week. I'm making a whole week of it. I put us up in a really nice hotel. I made reservations at a bunch of restaurants that we both want to try. This is really badly worded right here. I made a bunch of I made reservations at a bunch of restaurants that we both want to try, and we're going to do a bunch of touristy stuff in general. Plus, try to see if we can fit in at least one other show before we leave. We are both incredibly excited for this. My mom even has a little Hamilton countdown that she's doing on a mini chalkboard she uses as a planner. She sends me pics every day when she changes it. It's really cute. So far pretty good. Special bonding moment, something to obsess with. She's paying back her mom, pretty much for always being there and having something special with her. Really great Christmas gifts, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so.
So in January, I began dating this guy that we'll refer to as Josh. We are casual slash not exclusive. We were casual slash not exclusive for a while, but became serious within the last 2 months. He also works in the corporate side of entertainment, but a different agency than I do. He also has a higher position than me and makes a lot more money than I do. And this becomes important later. We met at an industry event and we hit it off instantly. I thought I could get really serious about this guy, and up to this point there have been no red flags that I've seen. Although to be honest, right now I'm sifting through all my memories to see if there's something I missed. He also comes from a much, much wealthier family than I do. So Josh has a younger sister that I'll call Jennifer. She's 17. That's kind of going through a big troubled teen phase. She cuts class, smokes, and is really disrespectful to her parents. I've only met her once, but as far as I know, she's not doing anything too bad. She's kind of a sad kid and could really benefit from some therapy. And I floated this by Josh, but he said his parents are kind of disdainful of therapy in general. And Josh says that we can't reach out to her no matter what they do. And they've tried everything except trying to get to her, try to actually get her into therapy. Who knows? Therapy may help, but okay. So the actual problem. Sunday night, I was at my place with Josh. We were drinking wine and cuddling while watching the Tonys, the theater award show. My mom was texting me during the Hamilton's performance and geeking out about how excited she was. I laughed and showed my mom's text to Josh because I thought it was so adorable and he didn't say anything off, but he was acting kind of strange after. He asked me what the date the show we were going to was. I told him and then he went into the other room to take a phone call. I thought nothing of it because we both have to take random phone calls like that for our job all the time, and he's going through kind of a tough time at his. He was in an unusually good mood afterwards and said he had to go home early because he had to sign some forms at the office early tomorrow before we met up to get brunch with his parents later that day. Again, nothing too unusual and pretty common with both of us. So he picks me up at work for the brunch with his parents, and again, he's in an unusually good mood. I asked what's up, and he says vaguely things are going well at the office and that this deal he's trying to make is finally going through. I don't really press for info because we both try to avoid work topics, partially due to work being fairly minor and partially because we both have to sign some pretty gnarly NDAs a lot of the time. And this is the only second time meeting his parents, so I'm still a bit nervous about brunch. We get to brunch place, and the first thing his mom does when she sees me is give me a huge warm hug and profoundly thanks me for my kindness. Her dad, his dad also gives me a huge handshake and thanks me for helping out with Jen. I'm kind of WTFing because I have no clue what they're talking about. I ask what she means, and she says for giving her the Hamilton tickets. I turn around to Josh, and he has this big grin on his face. Mm, mm. So, Reddit, Reddit. The time my boyfriend was away taking his phone call for business, he was actually on the phone with Jen, promising that I would give her my Hamilton tickets. I was so thrown off by this, I kind of not tactfully, I admit, say how I had no clue about this. Now, Josh looks pissed and his parents are equally thrown off. But instead of getting mad at Josh, his mom says, well, you can still give her the tickets, right? And they all,
No.
yeah, yeah. We'll keep going here. Hold on. And they all look at me like I'm supposed to just agree with this. And I try to explain that this trip is actually for me and my mom and how important it is to my mom. All three of them start going on about how Jen is super excited about this and that this is the first time she's not been mad slash expressed happiness to them in a while. And that's how the next half hour goes basically until the parents leave. Mad and the dad calls me a selfish cow. And I'm so flabbergasted that I just sort of put up with it, but I could barely get a word in. Get in a word. That's how you would structure that sentence. So Josh and I go outside the brunch place and he starts
Wow.
screaming at me about my selfishness and how Jen is going through a much harder time than they thought. He wasn't very clear on this, so I'm not quite sure what he meant. And then I'm being challenged because it's just a musical. And I hate having arguments in public. Also, this is one of my favorite brunch spots, and I wanted to be able to come back after. I wanted to be able to come back. Oh, this is one of my favorite brunch spots, and I wanted to be able to come back without being embarrassed. So I wasn't really engaging. He eventually called me a cunt.
Wow. We went straight to the C word.
See you next Tuesday, bro. Uh, and then he left in his car, which is awkward as hell because it was valet parking. So he was kind of just stewing by the valet stand while I was waiting for my Uber. So later that night, I texted him saying, well, I wasn't giving up my tickets. There are some still available on the date. However, they cost about $2,500 due to ticket scalpers checking up the price. Believe me, this is not a problem for either the parents or my boyfriend. He literally bought a $3,000 watch just for funsies last week. I wish we could do that.
Right?
I don't want to spend 3K on a watch. Like, that don't make sense
Uh,
to me.
no.
Um, the only response I got was that he. Oh, hold on, what? The only response I got was that that was an exorbitant fee. I agree, but not the point. He refuses to pay that much, and he doesn't understand why I couldn't just give the tickets to Jen. I also got texts from both his parents pleading with me to get the tickets, to give the tickets, and also they forwarded an email to me that Jen sent to Josh and her parents thanking them for the surprise. Apparently, she's so obsessed with Hamilton, and this is making her year. Also, we live in LA, so do they expect me to give up my plane tickets and hotel? What was their game plan here? So, last paragraph. Look, I completely understand wanting to help Jen out, and I feel really bad that apparently her family is filled with weirdos. But this has been also baffling, and the entitled behavior displayed is a massive turnoff. I am not giving up these tickets. Is that selfish? No.
No.
But I also kind of want to cut my losses here. The attitude Josh displayed towards me outside of the brunch place was very unpleasant to say the least. And he knows how disrespectful I find being called a cunt. Yeah, yeah. It's like the ultimate disrespect you could call a woman, pretty much.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm I'm of half a mind to just break up with him. He knew I had these tickets for a while, and I don't get why he decided to do this now at all. But should I contact Jen and explain at all? I just saw that she made a really excited post on Facebook about it. I'm not friends with her, but I am friends with my boyfriend, and he liked to post. I would straight up buy the ticket for her, but frankly, I can't afford those prices because I'm saving up for the New York City trip for my mom. And how do I move forward? You leave him.
Yep. Uh, I- First of all, no, you're not selfish. Secondly, he's an asshole. Thirdly, yes, you reach out to his sister and you explain to her that you were blindsided by this whole situation and never once said that you were going to give up your Hamilton tickets that you bought for your mom as a present, period.
Yeah, like it's not even the fact that she just had tickets. Like she said, she was planning a whole week out.
Hmm.
They had a trip planned to New York City, and they also had hotels, restaurant reservations, possibly. Obviously, they're going to New York City, so they're not going to drive. So they're going to either rent a car or Uber around or something like that. But what was the expectation here? And he's being pissy about having to buy $2,500 tickets when he just bought a $3,000 watch. What? Um,
Yeah, I don't get that.
it just
This whole thing throws red flags
oh,
about the kind
horribly.
of, yeah, about the kind of guy that this dude is completely. Like he's a complete jagoff.
Yeah, like if you're first of all, you ask your girlfriend, oh, the trip you're planning with your mom, when is it again? Oh, I gotta take this call real quick. And then you do a uh secret deal with your parents, and then you come back and she's like, oh, why are you so happy all of a sudden? Oh, I had a deal go down. Oh, it's all good. Oh, I'm gonna leave now. I mean, and then you set her up the next day because you don't she asked, why are you so happy still? Like, what's going on? Oh, I just had a really good deal. I'm excited about it. And
Hmm.
then you have your parents blindside her, try to guilt her into giving up her tickets. And the whole thing is like, the parents don't get mad at him one point at all. It's all her fault somehow.
Yeah, like
Is that
this
the kind of
dude.
family you want to be in?
No, definitely not the kind of family you want to be in. Like this dude completely lied from the get
Mhm.
about this whole thing. Yeah, like,
And he's known for about a while, like she said, because she got the tickets back in October, told her mom in December.
and
They
then they
hooked
started dating in
in
January.
January, yeah. So
Yeah.
he knew a month a month after she revealed it. So he had time from January to this current moment to pretty much be a good big brother and buy tickets for his sister.
Right.
But there is an update, sir.
Oh, wow. Okay.
She said, I am typing up an email dumping him right now. Normally, I think it's better to meet up in real life for things like this, but his behavior both during and outside brunch was scary, and I would prefer not to be alone with him right now, which is super sensible. Super sensible.
Yes.
Um, Maybe that's being paranoid, but better safe than sorry. I think this is one of those situations where everything was so crazy and they were acting like this. This is totally normal behavior. Well, what? And they were acting like this is totally okay, totally normal behavior. But I thought it was, I I thought I was the insane one. So she also has like self-esteem issues. I guess maybe she's not reading. I mean, I'm reading into it, but I'm not reading into it too much. It sounds like she's had other bad relationships because she's still sort of blaming herself throughout the sentences, like the paragraphs and everything. Like she thought she was the insane one. She thought that she was still like when she thought about sending an email to Jen, she thought she was still being selfish for not giving up the tickets. Like, no, this was a gift for your mother. There is no selfishness.
No, none at all.
You planned a
None at all.
vacation. You planned a vacation at least a minimum 6 months in advance with your mother, who you shared a special bond for the theater with, to go see at the time the biggest play in Broadway. So, and also Lin Manuel Miranda's final performance as the lead in Hamilton. Like, how are you selfish at this point? Like,
Mm-mm.
you're doing something for your mom. Just remember, this is for your mom, not for your boyfriend, not for your her sister, not for the parent, not even for you. You're doing this as a reward for your mom, and you're planning out a whole week's trip to go to places she wants to eat and possibly even see another show if you have the chance. So, no, you're not selfish. Second of all, yes, thankfully you dumped him. Change the locks on your door. uh,
Yes.
but no, it like when I didn't read the full story. I got up to the point where, um, I got up to the part where they got up to where he had the phone call and left, and I was like, oh, something's not right. So I stopped it there. So the second half of the story, I had no idea what was going on. And even the fact that her title for this is my boyfriend gave away my Hamilton tickets. Am I being selfish for wanting to break up over this? Like even that her title, she's still being like kind of blaming herself in a way. Like it's kind of
Y-
ridiculous to me.
Yeah. And maybe she does have some like self-esteem issues or whatnot that
And
she,
he knows that,
yep.
and he tried to take advantage of that.
Oh, he 100% tried to take advantage of that.
Even when she said like, "This is my favorite brunch place, and I want to be able to come back without being embarrassed." It's like you shouldn't be embarrassed for him acting like a child. Like, if anything, the brunch people should be like, "Hey, you did the right thing here."
Hmm.
But no, this
Well,
is good.
and the fact that he would like throughout this whole argument, like I I've been married for almost 20 years, and like every couple, we have,
Arguments, yeah.
disagreements and arguments or whatnot. Never once has it ever like popped into my head like you're a cunt. Like no. You don't say that to somebody that you really care about.
No, like I'll do the thing where I'm like playfully, I'll be like, "Oh, what a cunt" or something like that.
Yeah.
But and then like to be like, "Oh, you're such a bitch," or you're an asshole or something like that. And I'm like, "Oh, what a cunt!" Like playfully, but never in an argument. I'm going to throw out cunt. Like,
Yeah.
what? Why? You're supposed to like this person, and they're supposed to be even at the time they're even if you're not serious, they're still your partner.
Right.
So what are we doing here? He's definitely an a hole. His family's a holes. I feel bad for Jen. Thankfully, she was at that point. She was 17, so at this point, she's probably moved out and has her own life and doesn't have to worry about them anymore. Um, because they just feel like their parents are so toxic, and then Josh, whoever his real name is, took up with and found that behavior to be normal.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. All
I
right.
just still don't get it.
All right. So that was our Reddit story. Let us know in the comments below what you guys think of the story. If you guys feel she's being selfish, let us know why, because I don't see it.
Yeah, yeah, I'd like to know why anybody would think she's being selfish.
But yeah, so then we're gonna move on from there. Um, we're gonna go our week slash anime and wrestling recap and everything like that. Um, nothing really huge for us or for me. I mean, this week, except for Saturday, my cousin got married. Had a good little 3 hour ceremony thing. You know, they want to drag it out too long, thankfully. Um, but no, it was cute. It was nice. It was sweet. Um, and then Sunday, I got most of the kids. I got three of the kids. We went to Books a Million. They wanted to get some books, and I obviously want to go get books too. So why not go there? We went there. We ate at Freddy's. Freddy's is all right. You know, I'm not really a huge fan of smash burgers. I feel like you're wasting money on a burger that's not complete. Um, uh, but no, overall, it was a fun little day. It was kind of cold though. I hated that it was cold. The wind sucked.
Yeah, it was a little chilly this weekend.
Yeah, which is so weird. But thankfully we're going back to 70s and 80s and almost pool time. So I'm okay with that. But no, overall that was pretty much the highlight of my weeks. Besides obviously wrestling and anime, which we're gonna get into here in a second, but I'm gonna let you go ahead and talk about your week.
I mean, it was pretty much like a mundane week.
Mm.
Just chilled out at the house, did a couple things around the house. Pretty much just hung out with Jesse and the boys. Cut the grass this weekend. Watched the Chinese Grand Prix in Formula One. And that was about it. Like it was a very mundane week, which is something that I needed because it's been like run, 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 run for the last several weeks.
Yep, we're getting 2 weeks break and then right back at it, or three
Yeah,
week break, I think, 2 or 3, one or two.
yeah.
But so let's see, where do we start? Raw. What was last the 15th?
Yeah.
Let me get that recap because I don't remember off the top of my head because I don't have a memory like that anymore.
Really, the big thing that I remembered from that was Rhea Ripley being injured and having to give up
Relinquish, yeah.
the women's world championship.
Sheamus
That
came back.
Sheamus came back. They debuted the new uh
The Raw tag title, which was
Raw tag titles.
um
They're just
the
they're just the
World
WWE
Tag Team.
World Tag Titles, yeah.
Yeah. But no, Sheamus came debuted back, but he also debuted with his old song, "Written in My Face." Thankfully,
Well,
um,
and he was like super out of shape for a
yeah,
dude. Yeah, for a dude that's always in shape. He was super out of shape.
yeah. Everybody was talking about how he looked bloated and everything, which he did. But I mean, dude's in his 50s. Like,
Is he?
yeah, Sheamus is a lot older than we thought. Are you looking it up right
Yeah,
now?
I am.
But no, Sheamus came back, beat Ivar. Um, then Triple H introduces the new World Tag Team titles to Awesome Truth. R-Truth did his little funny gimmick thing, made Triple H
He
and Adam Pearce laugh.
yeah, yeah. He's 46,
I
so
thought he was already in his 50s.
no, he's 46.
I mean, he's getting
Um
up there in age though, but he's hurt a lot though. So
yes, yes, he is. But speaking of the R Truth segment,
uh
your good buddy Dave Meltzer.
Who?
Uh, yeah.
Who?
Um, he put a tweet out. Let me find this real quick. I saved it just because it says, uh, says Dave Meltzer believes that the Awesome Truth segment on WWE died in front of the live crowd. Our Truth is out there doing this comedy. Even at best, it went too long, but at worst, he's out there doing this comedy and nobody is laughing or reacting at all. So it struggled. I think they thought this guy is so over that he could do anything and people would react. But damn, they sure didn't. I want to know what this dude watched because the crowd was super into that segment.
Let me look something up real quick. Uh, Let me see here. So, oh, that's SmackDown. Um, hey, where is it at? So the R Truth, that segment under YouTube has 630,000 views and 23,000 upvotes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But it
But,
didn't get over.
but here's my thing. Most of the time, what WWE doing isn't always for the live crowd. Um, Unfortunately, some of the stuff they do is for the internet viewers because they have a lot more reach that way. Obviously, they have 10 million subscribers with it now that they had.
Yeah, I
Um,
believe their YouTube. Well,
or 100
their
million,
their
sorry.
their main YouTube, but then there's also WWE on Fox. They have a WWE on Fox YouTube
And
and a WWE on
USA.
USA YouTube that are also, I think, over 1 million subs each.
Yeah, they broke the record. They're one of the only there's only 10 channels with 100 million plus subscribers, and they're one of them.
Hmm.
So, but they don't know what they're doing at all. Meltzer. Um, but after the world title, um, so hold on real quick. Let's talk about the design for this world title. It looks like their everyday mundane heavyweight title look like thing now.
Hmm.
Excuse me. Really, I like that they finally went away from the stupid penny belts. Um, I really don't like this design though.
I, I don't. Here's the thing. I don't like this design, but I like it better than the previous
Yeah, the
tag
penny belts.
titles.
Yeah.
The penny belts.
So
Um,
these actually look like the what was Rollins had the world heavyweight title, right?
yes,
Because Roman was the
WWE
undisputed
champion. Yeah.
Universal Championship. So these look exactly like the Raw heavyweight title, just a big gold with the big W in the middle, ugly in it, but this says World Tag Team Champions on it now. Um, you know what? Maybe they'll grow on me. The heavyweight title still hasn't grown on me. I just feel like this is disrespect to the big gold, plastering the big W in the middle of it. Um, but from this segment on, the next thing up was the triple threat tag match um, for the number one contenders, and it was DIY versus New Day versus the Creed brothers. Um, it was
which
all
I
right.
was which I was a little confused about for the simple fact that you had three babyface tag teams vying for a number one contendership to the babyface tag team champions. You didn't put in uh Judgment Day, you didn't put in Imperium. Like, I get it, I guess, but you have two very viable tag teams, and whether it's like Finn and Dom or Finn and
JD.
JD or JD and Dom, like obviously you don't want um Damian Priest in there because he's the world champion now, but
Mm-hmm.
you still have three members that you can interchange that work really good together.
Yep.
And then you have Imperium. Like I was a little confused as to why. those teams weren't either added and made a five-way, or one of the teams, i.e., the Creed brothers, uh, weren't pulled out to put in like Imperium.
Well, the rumors are that this was the breaking point for the Creed brothers, and they're going to turn heel
And join.
and join Chad Gable, who we'll talk about later at the end of the show or
Yeah,
after this review. But no, I think this was more for the Creed brothers to get more experience with a more experienced team. Those guys are still green. Obviously, they don't have as much years experience as the other guys in this match. I mean, New Day together have, as a team together, have been 10 years now, I think 8 to 10 years at this point.
something
Um,
like that.
DIY on and off about 5 years, 6 years. But no, the Creed brothers, they are actual brothers, but they were mat wrestlers in different divisions. So they really didn't, you don't really team up in mat wrestling anyway.
Mm-mm.
So this is, but they've done pretty good so far. I feel like they were still brought up a little early, but they've been protected pretty well and been put with good people. So you know, it's whatever. Um, DIY won it, so we're gonna have DIY versus Awesome Truth. I think at Backlash they said.
Yes.
Okay.
Or no,
Um,
is that tonight
am I
as
couldn't
of this
remember.
recording?
I could not remember. I can't remember. Um, so after the triple threat tag match, we had a women's tag match. We had Candice LeRae and Indy versus Maxine Dupree and Ivy Nile. Um, and at this point, we're sort of just turning Indy heel and getting finally matching up with Candice LeRae, who's pretty much turned heel a month ago now.
Yes.
Um, but Indy and Candice LeRae won the match. Ivy Now and Maxine Dupree are still really, really green, really, really bad.
They are. Ivy
Um,
Nile looks better in the ring than Maxine does, but you can
yeah,
tell that Maxine is progressing.
yeah. Um, from there, we have a match that I was super excited for, and that's Andrade against Dominic Mysterio. Um, and this was, I don't think it even went that long, but it felt like it was a good match overall.
It,
You had Dom out there, obviously, with Finn and JD going to Andrade. Dom got a good amount of heat in there, but Andrade got his shine. Like, it's weird for me. I love Andrade so much. I hate him as a babyface. He can work babyface well, but his method and the way he works, he's so much more suited as a heel. And when you're a heel, you don't really have to talk as much. And he's a babyface, and I'm not saying his English is bad, but he doesn't have confidence in his English. You can tell sometimes. So
right.
his promos don't go off as well as he thinks sometimes. But no, overall it was a good match. There was a spot where Andrade and Dom were on the apron, and lo and behold, what came out? The Canadian Destroyer on the apron. Uh,
Yeah.
Caught me so off guard because it was like, we're doing that now. But then I remember they were in Canada, so
Well,
I guess it
and
was a good little spot, but it
well,
worked out
and
so well.
Petey Williams is also an agent for WWE,
Yep.
so
Um, but no, Dom went for a 619 or 916, I think is what he calls it, something like that. I can't remember. And when he did, Andrade moved out the way, hit Mysterio or Dom in the stomach, and then he hit the hammerlock DDT, or as he calls it, the message or something like that. I can't remember what they said he called
something
it.
like that. Yeah.
But then after the match, JD and Finn and Mysterio start beating up on Andrade, and then Ricochet comes out. So three guys run away from two, especially after one already got beat up by three guys. So I've always hated that logic in wrestling.
You and I both.
um, but from there, We go to another women's tag match. Two on the same show, which is so weird to me. But we had Chelsea Green and Piper Niven going against Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. And I guess this was the reward for Chelsea Green for taking them 2 quick L's the last couple weeks. Because Chelsea Green and Piper Niven pick up the win. And let me think. I think it was Piper hit a crossbody or something like that.
That I think she hit the seated crossbody that she
Yeah.
does.
And then she let Chelsea Green pick up the win. Then we have after that we have a Cody Rhodes segment, and boy, it went on. It went on. He came out and thanked everybody that helped him at WrestleMania 40. We also found out that Rollins, I think the Monday before Mania, tore his meniscus. So he did the segment on SmackDown with a torn meniscus, and then did both nights with a torn meniscus. Not only that, he wrestled the main event of night one and opened the show for night two, and then came out at the end of night two. Bruh, like The
That
Rock
that
said, that was the MVP of WrestleMania 40 for a reason.
yeah, yeah.
And WWE finally released a video, or it was a short of Rollins afterwards when Cody had won the title and everything. Rollins was on the ground, and Jay and Kevin Owens have to help him up because he can't walk or stand up at this point.
Yes.
So that's why, weirdly enough, at the end, when Cody's celebrating and all of them are walking off, he stops Rollins, and I could read his lips when during WrestleMania, and he said, "I owe you one. Thank you for this." And I was like, wondering, is this kayfabe or is this like something that had going on that we didn't know about? Turns out it was something we didn't know about, and he had a torn meniscus. So that's why he's taking time off. I hope for you to have a speedy recovery because wrestling's not the same without you, bro.
It's really not. It's only been what, a
two
week,
weeks, 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
This will be week 3 technically.
Yeah, and I'm already missing seeing this dude and his extravagant everything.
But I just feel like I've said it for years now, and I will continue saying it. Rollins has been the true face of WWE. Even though Roman was picked to be him, Seth Rollins has been consistent every year. He's been able to play both sides, face and heel, make them both make sense, make whatever gimmick he's doing make sense. Even that stupid Monday Night Messiah eye for an eye match thing, which was so bad but still worked out. Uh,
God.
but no, he's consistent. He knows how to work every type of style with whoever he's in there with. He puts people over, so he doesn't always win. Oh, what? How can he be the face if he loses? Easy. You put people over, you build the company up. You get more people who are contenders.
Yep.
You give yourself a bigger pool of people to work with. What do I know, Osprey? But um, so after the Cody Rhodes Jey Uso segment, um,
This was also apparently supposed to be Cody's like final
Raw
segment
appearance.
on Monday Night
Yeah,
Raw, at least
yeah,
until the draft.
yeah. Cody ends this weird long promo by saying, "Till we yeet again." I'm like, bruh, your daddy would have killed you.
Yes.
But no, it's weird to me because Cody's going to SmackDown, but he's facing a Raw guy at Backlash. We know he's not. We know
Is
Jay's
he?
not gonna win it. Yeah,
No, no,
Cody's
no.
going.
He's not facing Jay. He's facing.
Oh, sorry, not Jay. He's facing AJ Styles. Oh, yeah, my fault. My fault. We'll go into that when we get to Friday. I forgot. Jay is no more contender for Damian Priest. I almost forgot that.
Yes.
But after the segment, we go to the main event. No, not the main event. The co-main event. Sorry, the semi. Is Jey Uso versus Finn Balor. This starts with Finn sort of attacking Jay from behind when he's on the turn. Was it on the turnbuckle or when he got in the ring? I can't remember. Before the bell rings.
It was when he was in the ring.
Yeah, and then Finn went for a coup de grace. Um, Jay hit him with Finn with a spear. He hit the splash, got the win. Um, then Judgment Day comes down. Jay escapes. Um, he escapes, and then he does this weird segment because I was like, "What is going on?" The camera's still on him, and the camera follows him out of the arena. And it was funny because Jay was walking to the crowd, going up there. He gets into the arena lobby. He's high fiving people, doing all his cool things, saying "What's up?" going through it, and there's a guy that's walking next to him, pull out his phone, and he walks up and tries to take a selfie with Jay while Jay's walking, and Jay shoves him out the way. Hey, bro, you in my way. Get out the way. I hate when people do that. Like, bro, you can obviously see he's trying to do something. Move out the way.
Yes.
Um, but then we see Jay go through the entrance to the arena, and when he does, who's out there looking at the sky? But the old hometown hero, Sami Zayn. Um, and then Jace, I can't remember what Jay says to him. He says, "It's your turn," or "This is your town," or something like that. Sammy starts getting hype. He walks in, he starts getting hype with the crowd inside the arena. They're all going ballistic because, hey, Sami Zayn, our hometown hero. Then he walks through the crowd, comes out there and everything. He has a banger of a match with Chad Gable because Chad Gable's just that good.
Yes.
And Sami Zayn's too, of course, really good. But this goes back to the story that's set up from the gauntlet for the number one contendership, sort of like a not like a gimme match, but like a hey, I return the favor to you for helping me train for training me, everything like that, and help me get the win over Gunther. Um, Unfortunately, Chad Gable takes the L. Um, Chad Gable takes the L, but then Chad Gable, after the match, attacks Sami Zayn. He had worked the ankle the whole entire match, telling the story of how Sami going to hit the haluva kick with hurt ankle, blah blah blah. Sami still hits it, gets the W. Then after the match, Gable attacks him and hits him with ankle lock again on the turnbuckle, um,
Yeah.
physically making it look more painful, but still an awkward thing to do to yourself. Um, but overall, Raw was really good. It hit on pretty good amount of the cylinders there.
I felt like this week's Raw was better than the Raw after Mania,
Yeah, the Raw
which
after
is
Mania didn't
supposed to
feel like a
be.
Raw after Mania, though.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, like I think we spoke about it last week about, how the Raw after Mania is usually like the best Raw of the year.
Hmm.
Uh and it just didn't feel like it was where it needed to be. But this episode really hit on all cylinders.
Yeah. Um. So we're now going to go to NXT, which to me was really a low point. Um.
It really was.
There was only three good matches. So let me see. There was one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. There was eight matches, and only three good ones. Um, the opening match is Noam Dar with his group of stupidity going against Dijak, and I thought this was going to be a pickup for Dijak because he had that good match at Stand and Deliver and everything like that. Obviously he didn't win the title. He got double pinned with Josh Briggs. So sort of keep his momentum going, give him a little lift. But he loses to Noam Dar. And
I
Noam Dar
was
picks up Dijak in a fisherman buster with ease. Not even selling the fact that dude's 2 feet taller than you.
Yeah, I was super confused about this match in general.
Yeah.
Uh
Obviously, Noam Dar didn't win cleanly. Um, Dijak was going to hit the feast your eyes on Noam Dar to end the match. And then the lackey dude in the group came up on the apron, distracted Dijak, which, yes, is wrestling, but to me, in logical sense, would have been hit the move, see dude on the apron, like, oh, he's going to interfere after that. Go and try to hit the dude. Dude moves out the way, you get your foot caught on top rope or something, and you ring yourself up a little bit, and you're trying to get out of the way, and that gives Nondar enough time to get a recover and do a move to you instead of just, oh, I'm got this dude up on my shoulders, let me put him down and go attack you, miss, and then get hit by the dude. Like, I don't know. I don't know. The wrestling logic sometimes doesn't make logic sense at all.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
So that was
Uh,
the first good match. Even though the outcome was weird, it's still a good match. Went
it
12
was.
minutes. It didn't even feel like it went 12 minutes. It felt a little bit, I guess, because their pace was really fast to begin with. But yeah, um, from there, the next match from there is Lola Vice versus Soroka. That was 4 minutes long. They didn't give those girls a chance to wrestle. Not really exposing either one of them, I guess. But Lola Vice beat Soroka. Um, eh, whatever. I'm trying to think what was the next match after that. Ridge Holland came back after retiring and saying he couldn't do this anymore, but he came back and he beat Joaquin Wild in less than 4 minutes. So it was actually shorter than the match before it.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever. But Ilya Dragunov is out there as next. He goes out there and says it's an open challenge to anyone who wants to face him in the locker room. It's a really good set. I actually like the way they built this up. So a bunch of guys from the back and just general, coming out here fighting each other, trying to get into the ring. One or two guys like start slipping in and get pulled out of the ring, or one gets on the apron, they get pulled off. All of them are fighting each other on one side, and then off screen, here comes Javon Evans. I keep wanting to call him Jay Malachi, but Javon Evans. He shoots a huge flip into the ring off screen, really cool. One thing was funny to me is as soon as he came into the ring and they're like, okay, that's the guy he's facing, all the other guys that were outside just disappeared.
Yeah, I was confused about that. Like I liked this segment to a point because of the way like Jay Malachi or what is Javon Evans. I just know him as Jay Malachi. Entered the ring. But then you're right. It's like everybody that was there already just like disappeared. And I was like, why wouldn't you try to get in the ring and like duff this dude and be like, no, I'm facing him.
Or just make it a lumberjack match because everybody's already out there. But no, the match itself, fantastic match. Um, Ilya was doing his things. He was stiff, trying to test the merit of Javon Evans. Javon Evans hits a few great spots. Makes it they Ilya and him played really well together, or played, worked really well off each other. There was even a moment where it looked like Javon Evans was going to win. He was going for the Evan Cutter, I guess he's going to call it, so the Malachi Cutter.
Yeah, I don't know what. I mean, it looks really
I
good.
love his cutter because it's always is that second rope jump to the top rope and then bounce off. But when he did that, Ilya caught him with a good elbow, boom, and then he came with the H bomb. No, he hit him with the elbow. Malachi goes down. Ilya does his thing in the corner, setting up the Moscow Missile. Boom, 1, 2, 3. It was 6 minutes long. Did not feel like it at all. The
Mm-mm.
pace of the match was great. The matches, like everything, worked so well together. Um, the big thing about this match was Corey Graves and Wade Barrett were putting over Javon Evans, saying he was a 19-year-old guy. This is only his second match in NXT. He's giving work to the champion. He's making himself stand out, making it look like he belongs here. They were just building him up like commentators should sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, who would
Yeah.
have thought? But no, Dragunov obviously. Um, I think this was Sean testing the waters to already give Evans that rocket boost up.
Yeah.
Um, but no, Javon Evans has already adapted to the WWE style. He still does his things that put him over in the MD with the high flying spots and everything, but he's placing them in the match in a well told story. which is so hard for so many people to do, and that's why they go to AEW because they refuse to learn how to actually wrestle.
Right.
Um, but from there we had another women's match. Tatum Paxley beat Thea Hale, who in 3 minutes they were really not giving the girls any more time out there at all.
Not at all.
Um, and then we get a surprise with the Final Testament showing up. The Authors of Pain, obviously with Karrion Cross, Scarlett, and Paul Ellering coming out, but the Authors of Pain are pretty much inserting themselves in the NXT tag division.
Hmm.
They beat Idris Enough and Malik Blade in 3 minutes again. Like they were not letting people have matches at all.
No.
It makes sense because they had sort of set up the specialty match. The final match was a specialty gimmick match, and they were trying to get to that. Um, so that match was like it was pretty short. I mean, it was a squash match. What you expect from Authors of Pain, just come out there, dominate, get their pickup on the win. Um, from there, we have Ivar randomly show up in NXT, and then they have him beat Josh Briggs. So both Dijak and Briggs lose after both really needing a win from losing that Stand and Deliver. So I didn't understand what was going on at all. Um, that match went 4 minutes, nothing really special. It was all right. Ivar, he can wrestle, but you can tell his chemistry is a team as a tag wrestler. He has to have his partner. Like him by himself, I just and he's cool. He can do moves here and there. Like he's very athletic for his size, but I don't know, his style just doesn't suit singles wrestling.
No, it really doesn't. It
And
really
then
doesn't.
we get our main event of the night, which is Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes in a steel cage match. Really good match, really well paced. There was a few spots where I was like, y'all don't really need to do that. It was all right, whatever. But just them trying to, steal the show. But Trick Williams picks up the W on Carmelo Hayes, obviously sending Carmelo Hayes off for good.
Yes.
Um, and then now Trick Williams' focus can go onto Ilya Dragunov for the NXT title.
Which is
Stipulation being, go ahead.
tomorrow night as of this recording.
Yep. And then if Trick Williams loses, he has to leave NXT. Um, and rumor is he is getting called up, but I'm like, it's not the time for him to get called up.
Yeah, so that's weird. They've already said so the night after Mania, the Raw after Mania, they Ilya came out and had a match and they announced that he was going to be in the draft. Okay, cool. So we kind of figure that, he's wrapping up his NXT duties or whatnot. But now the rumor is that Trick is also getting called up. So why are we having this match?
Not only that, but who are your guides right now? Tony D'Angelo and
Uh
Dijak,
Dijak, yeah. Uh
and then
uh
y'all really haven't built anybody up, keeping the focus on Ilya, Trick,
Trick
and
and
Carmelo Hayes.
Carmelo. Yeah.
So, and we'll see. Also, have you caught that new? I guess technically new Tough Enough show. Um, Dwayne Johnson is producing for Roku TV. I forgot what it's called.
No, I haven't. I seen a clip earlier, but I
Uh-huh.
haven't watched an entire episode yet. Um I want to.
I do too. I don't have Roku TV, and I mean I probably can find it somewhere, but eh.
Yeah.
What is that dang name of it? I don't care. I'm not worried about it. Um, so we're going to go on to SmackDown. SmackDown, I think, started off with the reveal of the new tag team titles.
Yes.
Um, so the Raw ones are the World Tag Titles, and the SmackDown are the WWE Tag Titles. They look like the old classic WWE Tag Titles from back in the day, without the
They
blue.
do, but
It's a
they're
fusion of both the old ones.
yeah, and there's looking at them, they're they need a little more color to them, in my opinion. Like there, it needs like
Yeah,
some black around certain areas to make it pop a little more,
I
and
feel like they
maybe
need a
they'll
little blue tint somewhere for it being SmackDown.
yeah, and maybe they don't want to add like red or blue in case they draft the titles back and forth or whatnot. But I do feel like they need some black for an outline color around certain areas to make it just
Yes.
like stand out a little more.
But A10 Down Under get these new titles. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. Um, but right after that reveal, A10 Down Under go on the commentary. There's a Fatal Four number one contenders match for the tag titles. You have the Street Profits, New Catch Republic, Authors of Pain, and Legado de Phantasma. No, Phantasma. Street Profits win. It only makes sense. They're the hottest babyface tag team they have um, right now.
I was actually hoping for New Catch Republic to win, but I'm okay with Street Profits winning. Um,
I think they still need to build up New Catch Republic since they finally put them back together and made them a team again. And yeah, we know the Mustache Mountain. They have 20 years together probably at this point, which is an exaggeration. Tyler Bates only like 25, so but they have like at least like 10 to 12 years of experience together.
something
Um,
like that.
but no, the tag match was actually really good. Everybody got to show off. It was a spot fest. That's what Fatal Four tag matches are. Spot fest. Everybody got to show their shine. It was good. I really liked it. It really did like there was a spot that I thought was interesting, and it was when Tyler Bate went to do the airplane spin or the alpine spin, sorry. Alpine spin on I think it was Razor.
It was one
Uh
of the Arthur's
one of the
Bane.
other pain. I believe it was Razor. He's trying to get him up, and Razor fights him off. Boom, boom, boom. Couple spots come in. Boom, boom, boom. Then Razor gets, or one of the offensive pain get dropped by the collection of the other baby faces. I believe it was um, the author of pain. Whoever it was went for like a clothesline or something. Montez Ford hits him with a clothesline. Tyler Pete Dunne hits him with like a knee or something like that, and Angelo Dawkins hits him with another move, and he turns around. Tyler Bates there. He's trying to pick him up, and all the other guys start lifting him up and helping him out. And then he actually spins him around for a few, gets it going, gets it going, gets it going, and then as soon as he puts him down, the author of pain guy, the go to the Phantasmal, boom, right there to cut it off. Not even giving him a moment to get the little shine in. I thought that
Yeah,
sequence was really good. Um, but Authors of Pain, or sorry, Streets Profits win. Good match. So we're gonna have A Town Down Under versus Street Profits. From there we go to Solo Sequoia, sorry, and Paul Heyman in the and a tunnel in the arena. I'm trying to remember the sequence. And Paul Heyman's just saying, Kevin Owens has to be here. You know, it's already 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock, whatever. He's like, the show's on, whatever. You know, he's gonna be here. It's okay. We'll find him. We'll find him. We'll find him. Um, as he's saying this, Solo starts to just walk away. Um, they get to Gorilla, and Gorilla's actually empty. I like that they did this. They showed Gorilla position, but it was empty. So it's showing the essence of like, hey, this was unplanned and it wasn't supposed to be here or anything like that at this moment. We're not, doing our production and you can see us. Um, but Paul Heyman's like, Solo, you're making calls that you shouldn't be making right now. Um, you aren't supposed to be making these shots now. You will eventually, but not right now. We need to talk to our tribal chief. Those are his decisions to make. Um, Whatever. And then Solo Sokoa goes out to the ring. They go cut to commercial, then they come back. Paul Heyman has a mic. He's doing his introduction. Everybody's going along with him. Then he starts going to a point saying that the tribal chief is still not there. Blah blah blah. He's just going on, and then Solo takes the mic from him, and then he starts to go talk, and then he starts getting booed Dom Mysterio style, which I really liked. Um, he opens his mouth, eruption of boos.
I love it. I
Yeah.
loved it.
Um,
And
mhm.
the other big thing right here, in this area of the segment, the crowd starts audibly chanting very loudly,
We want
"We
Roman.
Roman." Like, so
You did your
that
job.
these guys are doing their job.
But Solo's trying to cut a promo. And he's saying, "Last week I lost a brother." Just booze, 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 booze. But he's like, "I may have lost a brother, but I gained an ally in my MFT, which I still don't know what that stands for.
I I,
Um,
I can't figure it out.
MFT, and he's like Tomatonga. And when he announced Tomatonga, Tomatonga comes out, but he's dragging a bloody Kevin Owens. Like, and Kevin Owens is gashed on the side. Like, it's a
Yeah,
big, it's from like back here all the way up to like right here. It's a good gash. And I was like, oh crap. Like, hey, man caught a chair on the side of the head for real. um,
yeah,
but Toma Tonga's dragging out Kevin Owens, beating the crap out of him, getting him down to the ring. Um, or pretty much I think he leaves him on a ramp as a sign to
and
Solo that
and
he gets the
steps
job done.
over him.
Yep, it steps over him, but pretty much is giving the sign to Solo that, hey, I'm your enforcer. Um, but he then gets in the ring and he puts up the acknowledgement of the one. But instead of doing it straight up, have you noticed that they're not doing it straight up? They're doing it sort of forward. Um,
Yes.
so it's
Uh,
different from how they've been doing it before.
yeah, it's almost Nation of Domination style, where
Hmm.
they would put the fist kind of out to the front, but they're doing it with the one like
Yep.
so. Uh, yeah,
But so Solo and Tomatonga are doing that, but Kevin Owens gets up, makes his way from the top of the stage down. He gets to the apron, or he gets to ringside. Tomatonga gets to the ropes, is trying to reach down to grab Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens grabs him out. They start going at it. Um, but then Kevin Owens gets bested. They start beating the crap out of him some more. Gets him in the ring. Tama Tonga starts throwing some headbutts and starts throwing some actual knucklers to the top of the head. He was digging in there. He was getting them shots
yeah,
in. Um, they have to bring out security, producers, um, and Nick Aldis comes out there. Um, and I've liked Nick Aldis's role, the way he's done his role as GM, as him really being the being the actual authority figure to the bloodline. He's always stepped up, and he's not back down to them once so far.
not once.
And even this new iteration, as we're assuming, we
Yeah,
haven't, obviously the whole point of the story is we don't know what's going on within the bloodline. Is this a new bloodline, or is this extra Roman sending signals out, or whatever? That's what makes the story so interesting. But no, Tama Tonga actually went and got a chair. Nick Aldis stares them down both down. Solo says no, not right now. Throws the chair out. They can leave the ring. And Kevin Owens obviously gets attended to. Beautiful segment. Really loved it. Um, it was great. Like, the bloodline is still the best thing in wrestling right now.
oh
um,
yeah, they could have ended SmackDown right here, and I would have been happy.
mhm. But I feel bad for every match afterwards because you can't top that.
No,
That, but it's good to have that be at near the beginning of the show, because if you would have left it off that way, it's just been another segment of the bloodline closing out the show instead of
yeah,
giving other people time to breathe and stuff like that. Um, but next match sort of surprised me. It was Carlito versus Santo Escobar, um, because Why wasn't Carlito in the um, WrestleMania match instead of Rey Mysterio? Because Carlito and Santos had more to beef ever since Rey got injured. So,
Well,
uh,
yeah, yeah. Or you mean instead of Andrade? So it should have been Carlito
yeah,
and
Andrade.
Ray.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know. Like Ray coming back just to get his WrestleMania win again. I guess.
yeah. Two WrestleMania wins over his son.
Yeah, I still think it should have been Carlito and Andrade versus Santos Escobar and Dom with Ray at ringside, obviously.
Yeah,
Um, but it was a really good back and forth match. Really good. I want semi lucha, semi WWE style wrestling. I don't want to say they went full lucha, but they also didn't do strict WWE style. It was good back and forth with a lot of speed, a lot of ones, twos back and forth. Um, the finish of the match is Zelina and Electra Lopez getting a brawl at ringside. It distracts Carlito enough to Carlito get excuse me. Carlito gets distracted. He gets pushed into the turnbuckle, and then put into the Phantom Driver for the 3 count. I like the story they're still going with this. Um, it's all right.
yeah.
Um,
I have a feeling it leads to Carlito turning heel, though.
see, I
Uh,
don't know, like, because Andrade's on Raw, and I don't still don't, and so is Dom. So you have that part of the match separated now. So now you're back to just LWO versus Legato, which is what it should have been at WrestleMania, regardless, but whatever.
yes.
Um, but I don't know if you have Carlito turn heel per se, because who is even in LWO?
It's Ray, Dragon Lee, Joaquin Wild, and I can't remember the other guy's name
Cruz
for
del
some reason.
Toro, which is
Yeah.
such a stupid name. And so 5 guys, 1 girl,
Yes.
and the Legado is Umberto, Garza, Escobar, Dom, I guess.
I no, not really. Dom is the whole mania portion of that just doesn't make
Just to make
sense
sense, yeah.
because
Um,
he's
yeah.
part of Judgment Day.
Yeah. So it's 3 guys and 1 girl versus 5 guys and 1 girl.
Yeah.
So
But
maybe Carlito does turn on them, but maybe they bring somebody else in.
well, but they're also doing this whole story similar to what they did on NXT with Carmelo and Trick, like who attacked Dragon Lee to take him out of the Mania match
Main
because it was
match.
originally supposed to be Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee.
But
Uh,
I thought we saw that Umberto and Garza attacked him backstage.
well, they're like I don't know that I don't remember seeing that. We may have, but every week, like Legato is like we did not
You're right.
like
You're right. You're right.
we did not attack him at all. Like if we did it, we would tell you we did it because that's our MO. They're like,
Yeah. We
you
don't
know,
care. Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, also could have just been Judgment Day. So I mean, maybe they throw it into be a triple faction thing.
could
Um,
be.
yeah. Um, so from there we go to the WWE Women's Championship match between Bailey and Naomi. They were having a really good match. But it ends in a no contest because Tiffany Stratton attacks Bailey first. Um, I'm trying to remember. She attacks Bailey first, then she hits Naomi a few times, but she's left standing in the ring, um, which I like because Tiffany Stratton's getting her shine in. She really deserved it. She's really young, but really good.
Yes,
She hit the prettiest moonsault ever on both of them, and it was a pretty moonsault. Um,
it
Such a
really
good move.
is. Yeah,
It fits her. It fits her because she's a gymnast, so she has great control of her body. And she flowed so well through the air.
Well,
Um,
and I like the fact that apparently she took it upon herself to reach out to Christopher Daniels, who does that same
yeah,
exact moonsault.
the best moonsault ever. Yep.
Yeah, and apparently, if what I have read is correct, she she reached out to him to make sure that it was okay that she do that particular maneuver. I thought that was pretty cool coming from somebody who has no, like, prior to now, like,
Yeah,
no
no
wrestling experience or
experience. Yeah.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah. But then again, she trained in NXT and Sean is there and
Yes.
crap, who are the other producers? I forget. But you have guys who have they have the old school mentality of, asking for permission, but not old school to where we're going to beat the crap out of you. It's where you can learn that way because that's how you're supposed to learn, which is so stupid.
It's so
Um,
stupid.
how can I learn anything if I don't get to do anything?
Right.
But that was essentially the whole show. SmackDown is 1 hour less, so they have quote unquote less time, but they still. Oh no, never mind. Whoa, um, I forgot that the show actually started with AJ Styles and LA Knight. I don't know why I skipped
Oh,
over that.
I forgot about that.
But yeah, that was the opener, which is crazy to me. Um, Obviously these two guys, great workers, classic wrestling match again. We called it before. AJ Styles had to win to have the 1-1. AJ Styles does win. He wins in a weird way though, because he went to go for the phenomenal forearm, and he got stopped by LA Knight, and LA Knight got pushed off, and he sort of flings back, but doesn't actually hit the ref. But ref cowers and doesn't see, and then AJ hits LA Knight in the eye, pokes him in the eye, boom, and then goes up for the phenomenal forearm, 1, 2, 3. So this obviously gives LA Knight a cause again for still having a reason to go after AJ Styles still because AJ didn't win
Yes.
cleanly. He's obviously gonna be able to say, "Hey, AJ, you didn't win cleanly. You couldn't beat me fair and square. One, blah blah blah, whatever." Still be able to have them go back and forth because we know AJ Styles is gonna have to take the L against Cody because
Yeah.
yeah, but
It's the
yeah,
golden boy now.
yeah, sure. But no, that was SmackDown. I thought was better than Raw. It was more cohesive. Um,
Yes.
had better matches overall, but they still had the best segment with the bloodline portion, of course. So, um, yeah. Also, there was a weird thing where during the before the Bailey and Naomi match, they had Jade and Bianca in the same dressing room as Damage Control, and they were watching, like, getting ready to watch the match, and they were having like a back and forth with each other or whatever. It was weird. They were in the same
I,
locker room.
yeah, that was very weird. I didn't understand that. Um, and I think that it eventually, like, we called it at Mania, maybe before Mania, uh, that Bianca and Jade will eventually take the tag
See,
straps off of Damage Control.
yeah. I thought it was weird. But overall, wrestling this week was really good. Enjoyable. They're starting to pick up. Um, I say starting to pick up. They've picked up for a while now, ever since Triple H really took control. But they're
Yes.
staying consistent. I guess is the best way to say it. Um, and um, I guess from that point, I guess we can move on to anime. Have you been keeping up, or I know we've been busy the last few weeks, so have you been keeping up or anything? Or
Yes, I have. Um, really digging Windbreaker.
gosh,
That's so good. Delicious in Dungeon is still good.
yep,
Um, it's still pretty close to the number one anime of the year.
still,
I
yeah,
started watching games. Was it God's Games We Play?
yeah. God's games
Uh,
replay.
which is really cool. If you guys haven't checked that out yet, it's essentially you have these humans that uh, compete in games that gods put
Yeah,
together, but there's a fallen god that has basically become a human, still has a little bit of her powers, but not not fully. And to be able to reascend back to the kingdom of the gods, she has to win
the
so
games.
many gods games. Yeah. But you can't go it alone. You have to have a team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so the
Um,
first three episodes have been really good.
so same with me, keeping up obviously with Delicious Dungeon. Still the number one anime so far this year. Um, watching Windbreakers, love the hell out of it. Love the opening, love the ending, love the character designs, love the uniform, love the story. I love delinquent anime in general, and this one's way up there. Sort of ish is a reverse like they are delinquents, but they're good delinquents in the way that they protect the town. But no, I love the character designs. Um, like so, this one may overtake Delicious in Dungeon by the end of the season. We gotta see. Um,
Maybe.
then also watching Go Go Loser Rangers, really loving it too.
I
Uh,
have not checked that out yet.
it's really really good. I love the story and the fact that both Windbreakers and Go Go Loser Rangers are the top two anime so far this spring season. They're both by Cloverworks, just showing how great Cloverworks still is to this day. People like to talk about Mappa still being the number one. Cloverworks is still up there. Y'all watch yourselves. Um, but then, shoot, what was the other one I was watching? Windbreakers, Go Go Rangers, Viral Hit. Um, I like it. It's goofy. You can definitely tell with the webtoon manhwa. It has that art style, very art like that look and everything like that.
right.
Um, the animation's not crisp or perfect, but it's good enough to watch. Bless you.
Thank you.
Um, but overall, I'm really enjoying it. It's another one. It's funny. It's just one of those animes where I can watch and not have to worry about it being too serious or having to meet too many details. It's literally um, pretty much the basis is a dude and one of his friends slash bullies, not really a friend, are trying to become YouTubers, be big and everything like that. The bully is asked the kid to use his mom's YouTube account so he can actually make monetization because you're under 18, you can't monetize on YouTube. Um, and then he's doing it through he's using the guy's mom's account to play Call of Duty or Fortnite, it was a shooter, whatever. He's streaming, he's getting numbers, anything like that. And then the our main protagonist, the goofy kid that can't ever do anything to protect himself, trips over a wire. It cuts the game off. Dude's like, hey, I was about to win like $10,000 or $100,000, something like that from this guy. If I got this 25 kill streak, I got 23 kills. Are you going to pay me? Whatever, blah blah blah. Dude starts stomping. The bully starts stomping on our main protagonist, and then he says, "This is why your mom has cancer." It's like, whoa, hey, whoa, yeah,
Whoa.
that's literally what he says. And then our main protagonist comes up with a Shoryuken and hits dude in the face. They start fighting each other. Just boom, boom. It's a goofy fight because there's food involved and anything like that. They start throwing noodles and slapping each other with noodles, just beating each other up. And then come to find out that the PC didn't get turned off, but when the cord that he tripped over was the cord for the monitor, just the monitor, not for the whole PC. So all that got live streamed, and obviously when you end the live stream, it uploads to a video, and then it became a big hit because of the fight. So now their whole scheme is to essentially have more fights, become viral. That's the premise of it. It's stupid, it's goofy, it's enjoyable though.
Okay. I'll have
And
to check
then
that one out.
And then I started watching also Oblivion Battery, that new baseball one I told you about. It's
Yes.
really good too. The animation is really good. It is Mappa. They have good animation. I hope the story holds up. So far, I've watched a couple of 2 episodes. I think there's 3 episodes out, but I've only watched 2 episodes, or maybe only 2 episodes. I can't remember off the top of my head. But those are out. But also for people out there who haven't started watching Windbreaker, just know there's 3 episodes out as of this recording, but there's already one dubbed episode. Super short. They've gone 3 episodes subbed and 1 episode already dubbed. That's how quick this anime is picking up.
Oh
Don't be left
wow.
behind because it's picking up. Don't be left behind. This is gonna be the number one for the spring. Um, until My Hero and Demon Slayer come out. But
Yeah.
um,
I didn't realize they already dubbed an episode.
yep, they already dubbed an episode. Yeah. But no, that's for right now. That's what I've been watching. I still got Bartender to watch. I'm probably gonna let that one finish up through and catch up on that. Season 3 of Reincarnated as Slimes also come out, so I guess it's time to actually watch that one. I've been wanting to watch it, but I guess it's time to actually get into it.
Yes. I started I forgot. I actually started Bartender,
Mhm.
and it's a little hard to get into. Like it looks good.
Mhm.
And maybe
But
it's just when I,
the premise is weird, probably.
or it may be the time that I started watching it or whatnot, but I've got to go back and rewatch episode one, just to like get a good premise.
Yeah, I think that's one that it's probably better to binge through because it probably is where you have to watch multiple episodes to really get interested and pick up on it and everything like that. But yeah, um, but no, the spring season's a lot of animes coming out. Still more things to come out. Still more things that have come out that I haven't gotten to watch yet. Like Remaster came out, The Fable
Yeah.
came out.
Hmm.
I still haven't watched that one yet either. So those were 2 other ones. Kaiju number 8, it's come out. I watched the first episode,
I watched the
but
first episode.
that cycle of just all these animes coming out right then and there is like, man, it's like I can only watch this much, and there's other shows on other like just regular shows that I need to watch that I'm trying to like
Yes.
I'm juggling this. I'm like, yo, why all these at the same time? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially man, like the spring season, man. The spring and summer is gonna be so hard to get through. Watching all the animes.
I know. Not anime related. You talking about other actual shows? I started watching this show called Tracker, which if you haven't watched it, it's really good. It's about a guy who, uh, like you don't
He
get a whole lot of his backstory at first.
is this one where he
You
finds the missing people?
Yes,
Yes, I actually watched first 2 episodes. It's got the guy from This Is Us, um,
yes,
and because it debuted after the Super Bowl. I remember that, and I watched it.
yes. So I that was the other thing that I did
Yeah,
this week
that show's
was
actually good.
I binge watched up to the current episode
Hmm.
of it, and wow, it's really good.
And I'm still trying to catch up on Shogun. I think I'm 2 episodes behind on Shogun.
There's just so
Um,
much.
there's so much. Um,
Well, and let me rephrase that. There's so much good quality entertainment out there.
yep. Um, the Real World Challenge All Star Season 4 is happening right now as well. So I'm trying to catch up on watch that when it's coming out. Um, and then The Circle on Netflix is also out. Like I only watched 3 or 4 reality shows, and 2 of them are on at the same time. I'm like, bro, like I can't even have one reality show going on at one time. Come on, let me get one competition show in. But no, like, give me 2 at the same time. Then give me good narrative story with Shogun, and then give me all this anime that I can't watch it right. Like, come on, man. And then a bunch of mangas come out or stuff like that I've been trying to catch up on too. Like, bruh, why is everything happening now? Like, come on. Like, I get it.
They
It's spring. You guys are trying to get stuff going, but damn.
spread it out a little bit for
You know what I'm saying,
for
man?
us.
It's a breathing room here. And May's gonna suck because Demon Slayer, My Hero, and then everything else still from the spring season going on.
Yep.
And Demon Slayer is only supposed to be six episodes, I think is what they said.
Wow.
Yeah, which why didn't you just make the Hashira training arc a movie and do the actual beginning of the Infinity Castle as the season?
I don't know. I don't know.
yeah, so there's all that. I feel like I'm missing something still, just somewhere. There's something on my list somewhere that I was watching or something like that. Like I've literally had to go and write stuff down, and I actually have it at work. I forgot I was writing it down while I was at work. I was like, and I forgot it. But like, there's a list of stuff like I'm still trying to catch up on and everything like
Yeah,
that.
I keep in my phone. I have a notes section that I keep up with everything. Uh, like what channel it's on, what day it comes on. Like, dude,
I know
you
it's
know.
just so much. I need to do that. I should have put it in my phone, but I wrote it down and didn't get a chance to actually do that. Freaking Blue Lock still going on.
Hmm.
Kagurabachi starting back up again. And then there's a new manga from the guy that did Tokyo Revengers called Nagai no Astro or Astro Royale, which is also really good. I think there's 2 issues out right now. I'm like, bro, I was like, I can't. All this media and entertainment, I just don't have time for. Um, but no, it's good. It's a good issue to have. There's a lot of stuff to keep us entertained and stuff for us to catch up on and read and watch and everything like that. Um, but that's it for this episode. We're trying to keep it under an hour and a half, even though there was 2 of us. There's a lot to go over with wrestling. Um,
Yes.
but tell us guys what you are watching, reading, looking forward to in the spring season. Your wrestling predictions. Tell us what you feel about wrestling right now. Um, just to talk about it, congratulations to Swerve Strickland for winning the AEW title. Um, they've pretty much built it up for like 6 months now, which is not a bad thing. It was predictable. Sometimes predictable is okay. Congratulations to a guy who's really worked hard for years, really has
Yes.
deserved to shine. Um, Vince McMahon was stupid for letting you go. Um, and I get you went out there and was trying to prove yourself and show yourself to the world that you could do this no matter where you were, and you have. So congratulations on that. You've done it. You've struggled through that crappy era of AW where you had to be at the beginning where you were just taking L's for no reason, but now you've built yourself up. Congratulations. Let's see what they do next with you, and hopefully they don't mess it all up.
Yeah, and he accomplished something that nobody can ever take away from him. Uh, a being the world heavyweight champion, but also being the first African American AEW world heavyweight champion. Like that's something that it can never be erased.
I mean, Samoa Joe was the first Samoan AEW champion.
He's not even really Samoan.
Yeah, he is. Just because he was born in California doesn't mean he's not Samoan. His family's still Samoan. If The Rock gets to be considered Samoan and he was born in Florida,
I, I don't consider The Rock Samoan. He considers himself Samoan.
hey, he is. He's half Samoan. His mama done said so.
Well, that's true.
But no, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. Um, thank you for supporting us some more. Um, we're gonna put out more content. We've got a lot of content still coming out. Um, we've got a lot of things just in the works right now. So thank you guys for always supporting us and sharing, liking everything. Um, Chip, go ahead and do the outro.
As always, please do not leave without leaving a like, comment, share, and subscribe on Spotify and right here on YouTube. Also, don't forget all of our social media: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. We're active, trying to get more active on all of those. Um, and if you want to continue to support, check out streamlabs.com/movement radio/merch. Go copy some movement radio merch. Got a couple of new designs getting ready to drop in the next couple of months. um, some con specific uh, designs that you will only be able to get at specific conventions. We don't want to disclose all of that information just yet. because the
Yeah.
designs aren't complete. But once they are, we will let you guys know. And until next time, I am Chip Hazard,
I'm Roger Sierra.
and this is Movement Radio.